Hey friends, welcome to the School of Hard Knocks with Darcie, a place where we become unstuck from trauma and grounded in our healing. I'm your host, Darcie, and I'm a proud multi-graduate of the School of Hard Knocks. Life has a way of teaching us lessons we never asked for, but here we take those lessons and turn them into healing, strength, and self-leadership. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in.
Just a quick reminder. This podcast shares personal stories and lived experiences. It's not therapy. It's not counseling or legal advice. If you need professional help, please reach out to a licensed provider.
Hey, School of Hard Knocks, welcome back. Class is in session. I am here today again with our rebuilt spring in blooming. All the things are blooming right now. Not so much here in Wisconsin. We got like 8 inches of rain last month and we have way too much. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But in any case, we're sitting here with Dr. Lauren today. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the School of Hard Knocks.
Hi, hello, ma'am. How are you? Hi, everybody.
I'm so excited to chat. Well, let me introduce you guys to Dr. Lauren. She is a doctor of natural medicine, PhD, and quantum practitioner, as well as BodyTalk specialist, published author, and meditation coach. She's also the founder of a transformative system guiding women from survival into power, pleasure, and profit. So, we're going to talk about all of the cool things today.
And we need to put at the very top of that list, mother of 4.
Yay!
Yes, that is my life work, right? So it's like everything I do, all of that is for my kids, right?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, take us back. Take us back to the beginning here. How did we get to where we are today?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you want to go way back? Like, how far back should we go?
Like Jenny from the block, way back.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you, I mean, like literally way back, I'm adopted. Okay. And so I really feel that this had a huge part to play in how I came to be. The girl who gave birth to me left me in the hospital, and she was 15 years old, addicted to drugs, mental health issues, all of the things, right? But it just so happened that in that hospital, my dad, who adopted me, was a doctor there. And they called upstairs and they were like, hey, we know you and Jody have been, looking to adopt. We have this little girl. She was left here. What do you think? And so that was it. And so I went home with them. But growing up, having that piece played a big role in my thought processes, if that makes sense, right? It was like, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I was left for garbage. Just she didn't want me for whatever, right? And now I know that's different. But at the time when you're formulating ideas, it was like, oof,
Yeah.
So that played a big role. And what I said at the beginning was, before all of this, I'm a mom. You guys, you remember the question your teachers would ask you in like kindergarten or first grade, and they would be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Remember that question?
Yes.
I'm going to be a firefighter. I'm going to be, whatever. And my answer was a mom. Like, I just want to be a mom. And probably, I've got 4 kids now, so maybe that's how it went. But, having that piece and then moving into a family that my dad was a doctor. So I grew up around the hospitals. He had a private practice. I was always in and around the medical field. And yet, because I had that, I'm not good enough. I don't fit in here. I'm light hair and green eyes, and my parents were dark hair and darker eyes. And so I had that piece of like, I don't really fit here. So I felt always this push and this pull, and where do I fit in this life? And unfortunately, I struggled a lot with my mental health and I struggled with where to fit. And so I started medicating, right? And, so drinking too much, trying different things to calm the mind, to stop the chatter. And I really, before I knew it, I was in a little bit of trouble. I really was struggling. And in my 20s, finally in my mid 20s, I was like, okay, we have to do something different. We need to make a better choice. I have all of the love and all of the help and all of the resources to be amazing. You're wasting your life. Get it together. Right. And so, the voices that be, whatever you guys want to call them, right, came into me and was like, get it together, lady. And so I tried and I went on a different path and then I went into school and I got some degrees and I was like, okay, I want to help other people that struggled with the things that I struggled with, right? So then I went into therapy and then I went into counseling and then I went into addiction and addiction studies. That's the first thing I was certified in. I mean, it was so fulfilling to me to work in the hospitals and the rehabilitation centers and the detox centers. And I was getting people that were just fresh off the street, bad conditions. And you stop me at any time, girl. You stop me. Otherwise, I will just keep going.
Take notes so that you guys are able to just say what you want. Because once you get into that flow, I don't want to disrupt it.
Girl, I listen. I am a storyteller by nature,
I love it.
so I will just go. Okay, so then, right? So then I'm in the trenches and I'm with these people on ground zero. But we're just like taking them off the street. So like they're not shooting dope anymore, but we're putting them on all these pharmaceuticals. So like we're switching one thing for something else. And listen, it has saved many, many people's lives. Rehab is amazing. Hospitals, it's amazing. But I was recognizing that there was something missing. And I'm thinking, what can I do to really systemically heal? Not just put band-aids on people, right? How do we really get in there? And through my own health issue I was having at the time, I went to my friend who was an acupuncturist, and she was like, I'm sending you to the quantum doctor. And I was like, I'm sorry, the what? Like, come on, lady. You know what I mean? Like, go, come on. Because coming from, again, my dad was MD, his father. So like my whole lineage was just like straight up medical. And I was like, what? So anyway, so I go see this lady and I lay down on her table and she has hats, different hats all over her room. I'm like, this is freaking bananas, man. And as soon as I was done there, what I went in there for was gone. And I said to her before I left that room, teach me everything you know. And that was it for me. And then I started off into my quantum medicine, quantum mechanics, BodyTalk practitioner. I'm a medical medium as well, like all of those things. And I just did the deep dive. And that really took me to a whole other level of my practice. And I could go on, but that was like the segue. It was like how bad it was, what happened, and then the shift of how I moved into where I am now. And now, my gosh, I'm 24, about 24 years in to that journey. So, I mean, I have like so much more to it as well, but
That is amazing. How old were you when you found out that you were adopted?
like little, like 5,
Okay.
like 6, like they were always very transparent with me. And they always made resources available for me. Counselors, therapists, like all the things. Yeah.
So, because my mom's adopted.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my mom's adopted, and we are blessed with, we have, my grandma's still alive. God bless her. She's 94 years old.
Uh,
But my grandpa passed away like 20 some years ago already. But I know that God knew exactly what I was going to need in my life because I went through trauma as a child. So he picked the right grandparents to be there for me and my siblings. And
uh,
I swear, I tell my grandma all the time, I say, Gram, I like aspire to be even half of the grandma that you are because
uh,
I published a book last year. My first one. It's an anthology with 24 other women, but I dedicated that chapter to my grandparents. So this last year when she was here for Christmas, I had her read just that part because I didn't want her to see the things I said about my parents. But I had her just read that part, and she's so cute because older people, she's like, "Oh gosh, oh
okay.
God,"
Oh,
like
gee.
just like the sweetest thing ever. So you knew you were adopted from a young age. What was that identity like for you as you went? I mean, middle school and high school is already hard in the first place, but you feel this different identity of where you are. How did you work through that?
Well, I didn't, like I mentioned, like it was too much for me. It was absolutely overwhelming. And I started to self-medicate. I was like, I can't even deal with how I feel right now. And I had stuff starting to kick in. Like I was having panic attacks all the time. And I started with some OCD behavior. And like it was not good for me. Like middle school and high school sucked. Am I allowed to say that? I'm
Yes.
going to watch my
Yes.
language. Yes.
No,
Not
let
in the
it
offensive.
fly.
Well, I
I'm
don't
not
know,
that kind of podcast.
I don't know like who your audience is. So like I want to be appropriate. And it also I have a presence out there, and so I don't want things to come back and bite me either. But I am a bit of a sailor when nobody's watching. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I really I hated school. And I had a learning disability and
Hmm.
we missed it. So not only socially was I awkward, like I literally, girl, I never felt like I fit in ever. And then academically, I was failing and we just didn't catch it. It's a type of dyslexia and I don't see my letters and my numbers like inverted, like a B is a D, but I see like my whole sentence backwards. Like if the belt is red, I see red belt is the. And God, I mean, I know how to read now, but I literally old school. I have to put my finger underneath every word. Otherwise, I don't. And I'm missing things. And so it takes me longer to read, longer to study, longer to get through school. But you know what? I don't care. I was so determined. I was like, I don't care if it takes me longer. Like to be able to get my doctorate was so important to me just so I could have those credentials. I'm telling you, because my dad he's Dr. Pearah. His father was Dr. Pearah, and I'm the last Pearah in our lineage. And so, I was like, I don't care how long it takes me. And so I did it. Right. So, like, my thing, like, we just don't give up. Like, life is
Yes.
hard, things are hard. Find a solution. If you can't find a solution, find somebody who does have the solution and ask them for help, you know?
Yeah, I love that. There was this funny word that was talked about in my podcast recently. I don't know how it came out, but they said nothing's ever unsolvable. I said no, everything is, we can always find a solution to something.
Yeah.
So, mid 20s, all
Yep.
of a sudden you get this like, we need to stop what you're doing, but we don't just stop what we're doing, right? I mean, did you dead stop and
I did.
enroll in school like the next day?
No, I dead stopped any substance going into my body. There was no more alcohol, no more extracurricular fun things. There was no more. Well, I did those two first, and then after a year, and then I was a smoker. And I was smoking 2 packs of Marlboros a day. Like
Wow.
stank. Blah. And so I stopped everything else first and then after the year and then I stopped smoking. But it was a dead stop. There was no weaning down process. There was no let me try this because I had already done that. And unfortunately, when you cross that invisible line, it's too late. And I was having a lot of consequences in my life, and I was super uncomfortable. And my loved ones were worried about me, my boyfriend, fiance at the time, and my parents. And, they were just like, you're literally going to die. You've got to, but I couldn't hear them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear them when you're in it. So it took what I took for, God to come down and literally across the back of my head, because I need boundaries and I need firm messaging, otherwise I tend to miss it.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Some people find out that rock bottom has a basement.
Yep.
That's just what it is. My brother, everybody on here knows, we talk about him all the time because he's my one of my prides and joys in my life. My mom gave him to me when he was 14 years old.
Oh,
I was
wow.
only 21 years old, and unfortunately, my brother ended up being a meth addict
Oh,
for 2 decades.
I'm
I mean, I
sorry.
couldn't get him out of it. I couldn't love him out of it. I couldn't do
Nope.
anything except for eventually at the ripe age of 39, I realized I had been enabling him for years and years because I loved him so much.
Yep.
And finally that stopped. And now, the reason why I talk about him so much is because he has been sober for over 2 years.
Yes.
Yes. So he is part of the elite group of people that
Yes.
survived it, and he's sober, and he's, involved in the church with his daughter. He works a great job. I mean, volunteers.
Oh my
It's a
God.
total transformation.
That's right. I
Yeah. So
love
it's
that.
very
I'm
exciting.
so happy for you and for him, because when one person gets better, the entire family unit heals as well. And we can all see our parts. And you talk about the enabling and all of that. And it all plays a part.
It does. It really does. And
Yeah.
it's, when you're in it, like you said,
Yeah,
you don't really know how bad that it is.
that is right.
And that can come with all different things, whether you're engaging in extracurriculars that you shouldn't be engaging in or that aren't good for you, because some of the extracurriculars aren't bad for you.
Right,
But
right.
some of them are.
That's right.
So, but when you're really in it like that, it's so cloudy that you can't even imagine. But even as being somebody who was an enabler, I didn't see myself as that at all. And I
Yeah.
have one sister. My one sister is actually an AODA counselor. And
Mm,
she would
okay.
point it out, you're just enabling, you're just enabling. And I'd be like, oh, how about you if you just shut your face? Because no, I'm not. I'm trying to show him love that he didn't receive as a child. I'm trying to love him, so show him what mom and dad did. I'm here. They call me sister mom because I
Yeah.
take, so I'm trying to show him different. And that drug is just so horrible that there was nothing
Mm,
that we could have done. It had to be God's timing and his timing. And I mean, it happened and
mm.
we're here and that's all that matters.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God, I survived and he survived. And I want to tell you too, there's something else that I discovered uh, during one of my pregnancies is that I have MTHFR. Do you know what this is?
No.
It's a genetic mutation and it inhibits the body from processing and breaking down sugars. And alcohol is sugar. And so what would happen is, because my doctor even said to me, you probably don't even have like the alcoholism. You probably is your body is, unable to process because of the MTHFR. And so it would be like if I would have a shot of vodka and you have a shot of vodka, yours is literally just like one, mine was like two. So when you have two, I've had four.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have three, I have six. And I was a blackout drinker, and it was terrifying. And I would wake up in places and not know where I was. And I would
Mm-hmm.
wake up on a plane in first class, and I'd say, "Excuse me, stewardess, where are we going?" And she'd be like, we're going to LA, ma'am." I was like with no suitcase, Nothing. I mean, so I have weeks and months out of my life that I was in a blackout and don't remember. I have no recollection. And honestly, my brain probably is protecting me and it might be better that way. But just from the clinical side of it now, from the healthcare side, now that I'm on this side of it, I talk about MTHFR a lot. I had one of my daughters tested. She actually tested positive because they're teenagers now and they're getting curious and they're like having these conversations with me. I'm like, listen, genetically you need to know what you have, so if you try it or when you try it, this could happen. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that is such a blessing that I have that information to pass on to my kids, but also to other people out there. Like you can just go to Quest and like order your own, just like it's a simple blood test. Just check and see if you have MTHFR. And you need to watch your alcohol intake if you do.
Gosh, we would have been a bad pairing if we would have known each other in our younger days because I was the shot queen and you'd be trying to keep up and yours would be double the whole time and we both would have been a mess. It'd been bad news.
A
Oh my
mess,
goodness
a mess.
gracious. Well, tell me about all of this quantum stuff. Like, how does it all work? And people are like, I kind of want to go check out Dr. Lauren, but what is she going to do for me? What would
Yeah.
you do?
Yep. So if you're not here with me in my office in Sarasota, I do distant sessions and I have clients in Dubai, India, Hawaii, France, so I can work anywhere just like this. And I have a whole protocol that's memorized and it takes me into your environment, your body parts, your blood, your nerves, your cell, your this life, a past life. And have you ever had muscle testing done? Have you ever had anybody do kinesthesiology with you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's just a process in which I can check, and it's a thing. Google it when we hang up, or put it into Chat GPT and just say, "How does muscle testing work in a distant session?" And I'm able to get the responses from your higher innate wisdom, a yes or a no. And then I move through your entire body and I build you a formula. And then this is my next question. Have you ever seen tapping? Have you ever seen the guy who does the EFT tapping?
I
And
actually just became an NLP practitioner in the last couple of months.
but the
And
EFT,
it NLP,
yeah,
which is
no,
the
but
nerve.
I'm
Yep.
saying that the
But the
tapping is a,
tapping is
oh,
actually one
they,
of the
I gotcha.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So in my protocol, there's all things to tap to activate different parts of the brain and have that part of the brain connect to the body and the spirit.
Right,
So
because it's like inner, outer, like forehead. I can't even remember, but like maybe
well, they're
there was.
all different. They're all different for different needs. Yeah. So there's like hundreds of different protocols. So that's how it goes. And I write down, a whole formula and I write it down and I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. And I record it with my distance session so we can film it like this. And it's just fascinating. I mean, I have people that come to me, they have cancer, they have blood disorders, they have headaches, and they're like, I mean, anything. It can be complex, it can be simple. I do a lot with my female clients of grief. I do a lot of grief.
Mhm.
I do a lot of womb cleansing and healing. And I'll tell you one thing with my quantum doctor that I did before I had any of my children. I wanted to clear all of the trauma that was within my body before I got pregnant because I knew, right, moving into this and studying it, that I was going to pass it on, right? And I'm like, I don't want to do that to my kids, right? Like genetically, they're already going to have enough of my crap to deal with. Like, let's clean up what we can. And I was able to do that. And also, not any of my four children, they have never seen me drink. They have never seen me smoke. They have like I've never had a soda in my life either. So like, you know, anyway, that's the whole thing. But as far as the quantum piece goes, it is just an extra tool that we get to use, that I get to use when the traditional doctors are out of answers. People come to me, I'm going to be on crutches forever. Or they come to me, I'm suicidal and I want to kill myself and, I don't want to take antidepressants anymore. And so I'm able to go in on the level of the mind, body, and spirit and see, well, what happened to you when you were 7 years old, sitting on the front steps, when you were fighting with your father at 3:42 in the afternoon and it was raining? And they're like, what the right? And I can go back to that time
Yeah.
and heal that and remove those blockages. So it's just fascinating work.
That is fascinating, and I'm sure it benefits people on levels that they couldn't even imagine.
They don't know. Like when they're coming to see me, a lot of people, like for the very first time, it is mind-boggling. And then they do it, and then they're in it because their pain goes away, their depression goes away, like whatever it is. And then they're hooked and they're just like, hello, help. Yeah, because once you're in the matrix and you see what's possible outside of traditional medicine, that's addicting of its own. Like you get addicted to the healing, right? You get addicted to, you crave, I want to be better. I want to be healthier. I want to be higher, right? I want to be more connected to the spirit of the universe. How can we up what we're doing? You know?
I mean, what a cool thing to think too, because so many people go through their lives with this desire to have a better car and to have a better house and to have a better vacation plan and have a nicer watch and have a nicer all of this. It would be so cool if people like, I want to heal even more. I want to stay more grounded in my healing. I really want to be centered in my grounding and be able to level up like that. And, we talk about that so much here on the School of Hard Knocks is a lot of people are stuck in their trauma.
Mm,
And over here, we're trying to be grounded in our healing. Because
right.
once you get grounded in your healing, the way that everything in life looks so different.
Yeah.
Everything looks different, is more calm, there's more peace. You're able to deal with situations on a more reasonable level because you're not as frazzled. So like getting grounded and healing, regardless if you do it, the woman that I had just talked to before was doing ketamine treatments with her doctor. And she thought, oh my gosh, I don't even want to say that because Christians are going to judge you. And I said, well, we don't judge here because, we're taught
You do
that
what works for you.
we are not supposed to judge each other. We are supposed to love each other. And if that's what it took to get her out of her trauma and get her to where she is, hey, amen, hallelujah. Because all I want is healed people everywhere.
That's
So it
right.
doesn't matter to me where they're doing it and how they're doing it, whatever your best experience is for you,
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah, totally. And I have, the quantum isn't my only thing, right? Because I am a frequency specialist. I work with bioelectric medicine, and so I have all of these other tools as well. But when you mentioned something, right? When you talk about people that want like a better house and a better car, like that's okay, right? That's
Hmm.
okay to want those things too, because money is just frequency. Money is just energy exchange as well. And I can't tell you how many people that I see that are physically sick from financial stress.
Yeah.
It's a real thing and it turns into all sorts of funky things, right? And this is why I teach power, pleasure, and profit, right? So, like, the power part of it is like, okay, I'm going to stand in my confidence, right? Like, we're going to move forward. Pleasure is allowing yourself to feel good again, like the acceptance. Okay. And a lot of the women that I work with the pleasure piece is directly um, physical violence and sexual assault people, and that, they need to clear a lot of those blockages before they can have a sexual or sensual relationship with themselves or anybody else going forward. So there is that piece, but even just the general public to accept, okay, I'm okay. I'm allowed to feel good. I'm allowed to feel like this, right? And puff my feathers up a little bit. And then that moves you into profit. And once we heal from the nervous system, once we heal that first, and we get out of fight or flight, then when we move into the profit, we can hold it. Then when God and the universe or whatever, yourself, however you're making your money and making your time and getting the house and the car, you can hold it, be grateful for it, and don't lose it. Because a lot of people do, right? And myself included. I make money and I would lose it. And I would start a business and it would fail. Right? I can't tell you how many things I started that either failed, I lost, I ruined, or didn't follow through with. Tons, tons. And I was not fully aligned, right? But the one thing within me, I'll tell you, I don't know about anybody else. You see all my karate belts behind me, right? I will not give up. I don't care how many times I fail. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care. Like rock bottom, because I've already been at rock bottom. It cannot get any worse than that. So my business project didn't work out. Okay. Did it kill me? No. Right? So next month, I literally, girl, I have 1 month to go and I'm testing for my black belt. That was my goal. I was like, before I turn 50, I'm going to get a black belt. So I have been training for 5 years now, and my next birthday, I'm going to be 50. And so I literally, I just don't give up, you know?
I mean, and that's the thing too. I always say when I'm coaching people, you do not fail at anything in this life if you take a lesson, and the only way that failure can happen from there is if you don't start or if you give up. I
Right.
mean, that's it. Like you can't. And that doesn't mean you have to be nose to the grind all day long, dedicated to the mighty dollar.
No.
Like when I talk about this stuff, I mean, we all have goals. Like I have a goal destination, I have a goal vehicle. We all have them because we're human beings. But I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, my biggest goal is to make sure that I'm as controlled in my body as I can potentially be because of the level of trauma that I've been experienced to in the 46 years of my life.
Yeah.
So I've gone through so much trauma that when people hear this podcast, they're like, we would have never thought that. Well, you get really good at being able to cover up a lot of the bad stuff and nobody
Me
knows
too.
it.
People look at me and they're like, if I would tell you what I actually had been through, like legit, people are like, there's no way. There's no way.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I'm telling you, that was my life. That's where I was. That's what I looked like. You know, I mean, yes, it is. So I totally understand the masks, right? The wearing of the masks and being in character and the perceptions of, I'm okay. I'm okay. And we have to fake it till we make it kind of thing till we get through until we do all of the authentic work, then we don't have to fake it anymore. And now I generally, truly am like, this is where I am. And like, I am so good. I feel good. My PTSD does not run my life anymore. My anxiety, my depression, my panic attacks, they do not control me. I control them. But I've done years of work, you know?
Yeah, when you're sitting here saying, and it's relatable, the whole I'm okay, that
Yeah.
is such a big thing. So I do a trauma toolbox workshop. And
No,
one of the
cool.
things that we do is we take off the superwoman cape.
Yeah.
Because I used to wear the superwoman cape, and not only did I wear it, I like was proud of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I would be like, I don't need help with nothing. Like I'm the alpha, I'm the everything. I can multitask, have 10 conversations, work 5 businesses, cook dinner while I'm cleaning the bathtub. Like it's just the most insane thing. And I would pride myself on it. And it's like, you go through enough trauma and then you add aging to it on top of it.
Oh,
Where it's like, I don't want to have to work that hard anymore. I don't want to have all of these multitasking things going on, but the always telling myself you're fine, like you're okay. So that I've been on my healing journey for about 10 months only, so I hit a lot of stuff. I've
yeah.
been a network marketer and an entrepreneur for 10
Mm.
years, and all of my followers were like, she's just the nicest person, she must have been raised up real good. If you guys only knew the stuff that I've had to go through and see and witness in my life, and now they do, because
Yeah.
I've been very open and very candid about it. But my
Yeah.
most recent trauma was my dad passing away not even 7 months ago. And I
Okay.
remember walking down the stairs, and my husband and I took care of him here in our home. And I went outside because my husband was playing music, and it was Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's one of my dad's faves.
Me
And
too.
I
Like
even remember the
literally my number
song.
one.
It was Cashmere that was
Of
playing.
course.
Yeah. So I go walking out in the garage, and I can feel like I'm going to cry because I miss my dad, and I'm like, you're fine. You're
Oh,
fine. And I start doing that, and immediately new heel Darcie comes in and goes, what the F are you talking about? You are not fine. You would
oh,
never have told anybody you were talking to. Your dad just died 3 days ago after you took care of him for almost 4 years with a traumatic brain injury. You're totally fine. No, I was not okay. And I cried like a little girl, like scream cried. My husband came running out, thought something was wrong. That's a part of me that I knew right away. I can have these moments and give myself a moment and give myself grace, but
that's
I'm
right.
not staying stuck here.
Right.
I'm not doing it. So when I coach people, I always say, have a moment, scream, cry, break a plate, like punch the air. I don't care what you're going to do,
Right.
but
Right.
let's move out of it then. It doesn't
Yep.
have to be your whole day, a weekend, a week, a month. Before you know it, it's a year and it's even more. And you're still so stuck where you're sitting. So
Right.
healing from me I deal with things so differently. I'm so comfortable with where I am in my life. I'm
Mm,
going to be 47 this year. I think a lot of me transforming started around 40, where it was
mm.
like all of a sudden, like my give a shit is broken, and I just don't care. I'm not here to impress everybody anymore,
That's right.
And for so long in our life, that's what we do. It's keeping up with the Joneses and everybody's idealizations of who we should be and where we should be. And it's like, no. So there's all these different outlets now for people, like what you're doing, what I'm doing, what other coaches are doing, that
Mm.
everybody has the opportunity to pair up with somebody that they resonate with and get the help that they actually need.
Absolutely. There are so many new advances. Yes, I do, body talk sessions and quantum sessions, which is amazing. But, some people, they get a little freaked out by it, right? And they're like, oh, this whole invisible thing, and is it working? And so I also am a bioelectric specialist. And when people come to see me in my office, I've got tools, I've got gadgets, I've got foot plates and wands and all sorts of things. And, we have the data to back it up. And so you literally just come in and see me, and I treat you that way. And I treat your nervous system. So while they're doing that, then I can do some of the other healing work. And we do the talk therapy. So it's not just like one or the other. It's like, how can we complement? And I try to, reach as many people as I can. I think people are ready. Don't you think that? Like people are so sick and tired of being sick and tired kind of thing. I
Yes.
think there's just a lot of more how do I say this? People are more aware of the options. And gosh, I mean, the pharmaceutical, I mean, I've been having to deal with big pharma and the FDA for like a solid decade with the type of work that I do. And my websites get flagged. And I had a frequency patch company that I used to sell on Amazon, and they would just keep flagging me and shutting me down. And I'm like, I'm just trying to help. No drugs, no chemicals, no side effects. It's not addictive, right? And big pharma hates me for that. They hate me for that.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. I don't care. I have a patent for it now. I'm going straight to the top. I was on Shark Tank with Kevin Harrington. He did a whole thing for me for my company. I mean, listen, I will not stop until I reach all of the corners. Like I will be the voice to get the message out. And I'm totally okay with people crapping on me along the way.
Well, hey, listen, somebody has to do it
Oh,
to
they
talk to
do.
Lauren.
They
So,
do. They
and
do. I just
I
don't
think
care anymore.
but that's what I mean. And I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think people are ready. People
Yeah.
are ready for change. The world has gone in a really interesting direction, and I think people are just ready for, we need to learn how to be okay with being in a spot for right now and being okay with it.
Right. And be
You
okay
know?
with like, I'm not okay. Like, I'm
Yes.
not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. Right. And yes, I agree. And, I set a timer sometimes. I'm like, okay, you've got 2 minutes, Lauren. You've got 2 minutes to lose your shit. Go ahead, do all the things you've got to do. And then we got to get into the solution, because my own mind will take me, right, into the drama, into the trauma, into the old tapes. And if I'm in the old tapes, I can't be in the new tapes and I can't be in the solution, right? So,
Yeah. Well, hey, you're stronger than I am, man, because I don't set a timer, but I can tell you, I actually call it my reboot time.
yeah.
That's what I call it. And my reboot time, my dad was a survivor of a workplace shooting. That's how he received the traumatic
Mm.
brain injury. So
Oh,
when he did 2 years in rehab, I was with him all of the time, but then COVID
mm.
happened. And I
Yeah, yeah.
remember when COVID happened, the amount of days that I would
Mm,
be laying on the sofa just staring at the ceiling, like so
mm,
numb. The
mm.
fear of if somebody was being mean to him, if he felt alone because the brain injury we were starting all over from adolescence. And I
Yeah,
felt so completely helpless to now. I mean, 15 minutes or less if I'm having a moment. And this is,
yeah,
I'm talking even current day, and I'm 6.5 months into my dad passing away.
yeah.
So, it takes work. It takes
Oh, yeah.
dedication. It takes loving yourself. I say that too when people are like, what's the first step to doing anything you do with NLP or anything like that? You have to love yourself. Because it
Yeah,
doesn't matter what it is that you're learning. You're not going to apply the learnings if you don't love yourself. You're not going to engage in what it is that I'm doing with you because I have to do it with you. I'm not doing
yeah.
anything to anybody. It's
Right.
a with. I'm working with you. So like my husband, I've tried to help him 3 times with quitting smoking. Guess who's still smoking?
Yeah.
Because he's not ready. He doesn't really truly want to do it.
Right, right. Well, what do you do if somebody does not love themselves? Like do you have a protocol or do you put something in place to help people access that part of themselves and heal that? Because if you can find a way to do that, right?
Yep, that's why
That's
I created something called the trauma toolbox.
good. Good.
And the trauma toolbox has a multitude of tools in it that are accessible for people to utilize if they're trying to heal from past trauma, or
Yeah,
if it's just not everybody's gone through past trauma. Some people have
right,
gone through some things, but they don't know how to control their everyday. Why is this red light taking so long? Why is the barista taking forever with my coffee? And then they
right.
lose control. There's different tools that I've put into my toolbox to help with before and now. So, I mean,
Yeah,
this is a discussion that we have. If one of my clients is going to come on board, they got to fill something out. I need to know what do you need? But yes, how are you as far as loving yourself? Because
yeah,
I don't have a magic pill or a magic wand or a magic word. This is
yeah,
me working with you to accomplish the thing that you want to accomplish. But if you're just sitting here, I had one woman who cried the whole entire time and told me she felt like she was having a manic depressive breakdown. Well, ma'am, I can't help you, but that's something I would encourage you to reach out and actually speak to a therapist about. Maybe you need to have some type of extra help, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely zero things wrong with that. If you are that out of control, I would rather see somebody, oh, I'm going to sit here and hammer on you for 3 hours to get you to love yourself.
yeah.
Talk to somebody that can actually get you help
Right.
today and right now.
That's right. Yeah. And I do the same. I have people come to me and sometimes I get a very clear, because before I work on people, I do the same and I get permission from,
Mhm.
and sometimes it's like, you just need to go to the hospital. Like straight up, I cannot help you. You need antibiotics. Like you need like different kind of help. And I kind of go handle that and then come back and see me and
Yes.
then let's do the work. Yeah, right. Because it's about us knowing our limits too. I had this guy pressure me the other day. I was at a health fair, right? And he's like, "Well, how do you think you have the solution for everybody?" And I'm like, "No, no. I maybe I have the solution for everybody at a different time."
Mm-hmm.
right? That can be true, but I'm not saying like I'm like the Messiah or anything, buddy, but he was really giving me a really difficult time. And some people are just so close-minded, I feel too still, when they don't understand, or that part within them hasn't healed yet. They've got
Yes.
something, and so they would just rather judge you for trying to help everybody.
Yeah, the fear of there is something that could potentially help somebody that doesn't want to be helped is so real.
And he was an MD,
I
like,
know.
and he's like, probably the fear when you say fear is, oh my God, someone like this is going to take my job.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So like, and he's the first one I just handed him my card. I'm like, just come and see me. And he was like,
That's what I would have did too. I was
yeah,
like,
I'm
sir,
like,
I will
yeah,
even see you for free.
that's
I will
right.
even see
Just
you for
come on
free.
down. Yeah.
Because I'd rather help one that can be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming, and now you're going to tell everybody, than
Yes.
have you talk about the lady that you think is crazy that you met at the health fair.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
I love it. I love the naysayers, right? And like I love the difficult ones. Um, it's just and then their eyes open and it's like, oh, yeah.
It's
Love
a
that.
beautiful thing. I mean, if somebody has not tried what Dr. Lauren is doing or NLP or anything that has to do with getting into your subconscious and your conscious mind, I highly suggest trying it. There
Yeah.
is no fear. You are in control. Like I always tell people that you're in complete control. I'm not doing anything with your brain. It's such a relaxing, calming experience. And honestly, like you said, when I have a client, because I do a lot of this on Zoom too. So when I have
Yeah.
a client and they open their eyes and you can see the light, you can see the happiness, the calm, the peace. Like I've gone downstairs crying to my husband before, like when I leave my office, like, babe, like this woman I just worked with was calling herself a monster mom when we first
Oh,
started. And by the end of
yeah.
it, she's like, I'm so excited for her to ask me to go to her next friend's birthday party. I'm like, oh. Like it was just this really great comforting thing. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend it. I am so thankful that you came and sat here with us today
Well,
and that you
thanks for
shared your
asking me.
story. Yes, it was so good. Thank you so much.
So listen, what we should do sometime, like offline or like whatever, we should exchange sessions. Would that be
Listen,
so cool?
we're going to
Then
talk
we can, yeah,
we're going to talk about that because I'm already in the process of creating a group for all of the coaches that have been on my podcast so we can almost
cool.
do such things.
Yes,
Refer people to each other if there's somebody who and we can't
absolutely.
help or verbiage. There's
Oh,
different
well, I've got a
terminology.
thing. I've got all the things for you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because like triggered used to be a word that triggered me. I could not stand that word. And
Oh,
then I met with Stacy Schaefer. She's a child psychologist. She was one of my guests recently. And I told her that. And she goes, oh, yeah, I used to not like that word. So now I use activated. I'm like, sold. I,
lovely.
I love
Lovely.
that.
And
And then
that's
I
so
thought,
funny. And people call me the activator. They
yeah,
literally, they're like, Lauren is the activator because she gets in you to wake up all of the pieces that have been turned off.
I love that so much.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
my.
this is perfect. I'm really looking forward to that and meeting all of the other ladies, or is it women only or is it men and women?
Oh, men and women. Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh,
yes.
I wasn't sure the audience. Okay, cool.
Yes,
Well, I'm
yes.
looking forward to that and meeting everybody and awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you're
thanks for
doing
hanging out with me.
Thank you so much. You're doing amazing work. And thank you so much for creating a platform to have this conversation because it is so important and it's not happening enough. And so you're doing a wonderful job. I appreciate you.
Oh. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take it. I'll take that compliment, girl.
Yes, take
Thank
it.
you so much. All right, School of Hard Knocks, you know what to do. After you watch this episode, go and find Dr. Lauren, Pearah. It'll be in here so they have the spelling. But
Okay.
she's on Facebook and TikTok, it looks like are the places that you can find her. So like everything, love everything, follow, share, do all of those things because like I always say, there's more than enough room at the top of the mountain for all of us. And when you are walking with the Lord, healing is always possible. I'll see you guys in the next
Always.
episode. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time with me today. And I'm so proud of you for stepping into your healing journey. Please share this with every single person that you know. I'm here to make the biggest impact possible, and I can only do that with you by my side. I hope you hit that follow button and you save me to your library so you never miss an episode. We just took another break out of your wall, and remember, with God, healing is always possible. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.